Alright, so here in this problem they want us to write a ratio as a fraction in lowest terms. Okay, so they want us to write the ratio as a fraction in lowest terms. Remember, they want us to compare in inches. So right now we have 5 feet to 11 inches. So we know it's going to be 5 feet to 11 inches. But they want them in inches, which means we need to change feet. We need to change that. Well, how do we do that? We know there's 5 feet. We're going to multiply that by 12. And that will give us a solution of 60 inches. So now what we have is 60 over 11. And then we try to reduce this here, and we see that we will not be able to, so our solution here would just be 60 over 11. Remember, the reason I multiplied by 12 because I know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. So I could just multiply this 5 feet by 12, I get 60. When I get to this part, let's see if we could reduce. Here we couldn't, that's why our solution is just 60 over 11. So our next problem here says a stock market reports that 8 stocks went up for every 9 that went down. 8 went up for every 9 that went down. Here it says if 1233 stocks went down, how many went up? And they tell us to solve a proportion. So we know we're going to do this first one to be 8 stocks went up, 9 stocks went down. Well, here 1233 went down, so 1233 must go in the bottom because we're talking about down, and now we're just looking for x there. So now we're going to multiply 8 times 1, 2, 3, 3 equals, we're going to multiply 9 times x. And when we multiply 8 times 1233, that gives us a solution of 9,864. And now we're just going to divide both sides by 9. And we'll get a solution of 1096 equals x. Here they want us to write a ratio of the longest side to the shortest. So longest to the shortest. So let's just find the longest side. Looks like 13 1/2 is the longest side. The shortest side looks like it's going to be 2 3/4. So remember, all this is the numerator. This stands for divided by the denominator. So 13 1/2 divided by 2 3/4. We change that to an improper fraction. 13 times 2 is 26 plus 1. We get 27 over 2. Divided by, we change this mixed number to an improper fraction. 2 times 4 is 8. 9, 10, we get 11 over 4. And now remember what we're going to do here is go from division to multiplication. And we just flip the second one. So remember we multiply across 27 could be broken up to 3 times 3 times 3. 4 can be broken up to 2 times 2. The bottom, we just have prime numbers already. But we see that some 2's cancel. So on the bottom, we're left with the solution of 11. And on the top, we're left with 3 times 3 times 3 times 2 gives us a solution of 54. And it is okay to leave it like that because it just says a simplified fraction. Even though this is improper, it is still a simplified fraction. The next problem says 4 quarts of latex paint covers 200 square feet. It says how many square feet are needed to cover 186 in the kitchen and 64 in the bathroom wall. So here it tells us 4 quarts covers 200. That right there is going to be one part. Okay. 4, we have quarts, covers 200 square feet. The question is, well, what are we looking for? How many quarts, right? So how many quarts is going to cover this part? 186 and 64. So to find out what number goes there, we have to first add those two. Okay, because those are both square feet. We want to know what total amount we're going to need to cover that 100, the amount in the kitchen and the amount in the bathroom. So when we sum those two numbers, we get a solution of 250. Now once again, we go ahead and just cross multiply. 4 times 250 equals, there we get 200 times x. 4 times 250 gives us a solution of 1000. And now to get x by itself, we just divide both sides by 200. And we should get a nice whole solution of 5 here. They want us to find the unknown. So we have 8 over 1 3/5 and 45 over x. Just like we have been doing before, we're going to cross multiply. 8x equals cross multiply 1 3 over 5 times 45. So let's work with this right side first. First thing we're going to have to do is change this mixed number to an improper fraction. 1 times 5 is 5 plus 3. We get 8 over 5 times, now I can put 45 into a fraction by putting it over 1. I still get 8x over here. Well, here, just multiply across, right? 8 times 45. It's going to be 360. 1 times 5 is just 5. Well, if I divide 360 by 5, I get 72. So I just divide it by 8, divide by 8. I get x to be 9. So all we're doing is just like before, we're just going to be cross multiplying. Nice problem. How many? It says Makisha lost 27.5 pounds in 10 weeks. Find the loss in pounds per week. So they want to know how many pounds she lost per week. Well, it says that's 27.5 per 10 weeks. So we could just divide. What's 27.5 divided by 10? Well, 27.5 divided by 10 is just 2.75. Nice problem. All we're really doing is just dividing those two there. This next one says the label on the bottle of vitamin says that each capsule contains 0.4 grams. It says when checked, each capsule had 0.404 grams. So the question is this too much or too little? So remember what we could do here, we're just going to be comparing numbers. So we write 0.4. The next one is 0.404. So since they're not the same decimal place, so we could just add zeros. And now we're just going to compare. That's the same, that's the same, that's the same. Well, this is bigger, right? So this number is bigger, which means it's too much. Well, how much? We just subtract. What's 0.404 minus 0.4? We should get a solution of 0.004 there. A nice problem here. All we're going to be doing is just comparing numbers here. To find the square root of 31, remember we just put that in our calculator. It gives us a solution of 5.6, 5.567764636. It says to the thousandths. So we locate the thousands, tens, hundredths, thousandths. Because that's a 7, this number is going to go up. That 7 will go up 1. So that will be our solution. Nice problem. I just want to remind you, if it says round to the thousandths, make sure your answer is in the thousandths. Here they want it in lowest terms. Oh, we have 7 minutes to 3 hours. Remember, ratio, which means it has to be the same. So that means we're going to have to change hours. We're going to have to change these hours to minutes. So we could do 3 times 60. Why 60? Because we know 1 hour equals 60 minutes. That gives us 180. So that was first. That was second. So now third, we could just write 7 over 180. And that will be our, so let's see if it reduces. Does it? No. So our answer is just 7 over 180. Unit rate. Remember, unit rate, it doesn't say a fraction. So you're just going to divide. What's 408.80 divided by 4? Excuse me. We divide, we get an answer of 120.2. That's it. Nice straight problem. All we're doing is dividing here. And here we are solving. We get negative 3.6 plus 0.7p equals 0.9p plus 5.3. We have p on this side, p on that side. We need it on one side, so I'm just going to subtract 0.7p first from both sides, because I'm going to cancel it from the left side. When I cancel, I'm sorry, this here should be a 7. Because that's a 7. When I cancel, I get 0.2p plus 5.3. So I want my p on one side. So I'm going to get rid of this positive 5.3 by subtracting 5.3 to both sides. Because there it will cancel. I subtract here, I get negative 8.9 equals 0.2p. Now I get p by itself by just dividing now. And when I divide negative 8.9 divided by 0.2, I get a solution of 44.5 to equal